Hey folks, it's Hooves of Doom, and it's somewhat of a little bit of a hobby update, channel update thingy. So it's been about a month or so since I've last made a video, and during that time, of course, I transitioned and moved pretty far down to Colorado. And now, I was hoping to maybe get a little bit of a sooner start, but at this point now, the hobby room is actually in a pretty good spot. Reasonably unpacked. There's still a lot to do. A lot of these shelves behind me are empty. Need to figure out what I'm going to put on them, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with everything. Went relatively smoothly, and we're here. And my new job is going pretty well. I'm kind of getting into the groove. And so now let's get back into hobby, and that's mostly what I want to talk about. I'll do maybe a video of the hobby room at some point once it's a little bit better fleshed out. I'd love to actually frame some of my posters and have it a little bit more professional. And I'd love to get doors on these bookshelves and maybe use those spare shelves for like models. I've never really had much of a display case. I used to have all my models out on shelves in the past, but I'm kind of morbidly afraid of dust and just constantly keeping them relatively clean. That's kind of the downside of just having them kind of out. So I generally keep them in my plastic bins unless I have to. But because you're putting so much work into these models, it's nice to kind of have them out and kind of have them on display. So we'll see if I can arrange something like that. But in either case, the biggest priority for me is to get hobbying again. And this type of social contract really helps. So I'm going to really try to finish my Red Corsair project, which is Huron Blackheart, that I started in mid to late November or October at this point, and move on and keep pushing that. So the good thing here is that I've had a lunch with a local player that I know, Ryan Taylor, who is kind of affiliated with I guess he is now officially part of the Rolling Bad podcast. And he and I think, are going to play fairly regularly, maybe on a weekly basis. And that is amazing. I haven't had that type of opportunity in a long time. So, and hopefully I can get Mrs. Hooves in there as well. Play some, Warhammer Underworlds or something. And maybe the odd game of Age of Sigmar with her as well. So Ryan's mostly into AOS, and I think that's basically what we'll focus on. But when I was looking for apartments and stuff, one of the guys I met who was showing me this apartment in Durango just happened to play 40K, and because the hobby came up about what I would use one of the rooms for, and actually one of the people that I met, one of the potential landlords that I met, was looking at the house, was very concerned about painting within the house. And so that was kind of a weird exchange. But this guy seems very nice, and he's mostly into 40K. So it'd be kind of cool to maybe play the odd game with him as well. So I'm pretty thrilled. I think we'll be here relatively more stable than some of the other places. I can't rule out a move within the city area at some point, but I don't think it will be moving across state lines anytime soon. We'll probably be here 2 or 3 years. Is basically what I committed to the job for, and that's good. And that gives us a bit of a platform. And I'm actually working, so it gives us a little bit more of an income. And so one of the things I think I'm going to be able to do next year is Adepticon. I might be able to arrange LVO as well, because it's really only about an 8-hour drive from where I am. So it's conceivable that I could get there. In either case, I'm pretty happy, and more hobbying to be done. I kind of have some weird hours at work, but there's no reason why you can't get an hour or two of painting on a daily basis. And I just need to maybe think about how much time I have with regard to my projects. I'm very ambitious. I want to get a lot painted. I have a lot to paint. So it's just a matter of, balancing it out. But Huron Blackheart, one single model. Surely I can finish that this week. And I am desperate in need of painting some of my terrain. So the next project after that is the Realm of Battle board that I've had for many years. And I painted a tile up for Holy Havoc last year. So I'm going to paint the other 5 tiles, and that will give us some more space. And I think Ryan and I are going to basically go back and forth between each other's place or something like that. And we'll kind of work that out on a weekly basis. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to play. And, I don't know if I'll ever be super competitive at these types of events, but it'd be nice to maybe play a little bit more competitively, think a little bit more about what I'm doing and choosing. For a long time, I played against Mrs. Hooves, and that's a much more competitive gaming style, simply because she's not necessarily designing competitive armies by any means, and I want her to enjoy the game. So if I table her round 2, that's not good. So yeah, so far at Adepticon, I'm on a lot of wait lists. I am in like the Night Vault Underworlds. That's about the only event I managed to get in because I was a little bit late registering. Slightly annoyed by that, but overall, I think one of the feedback you often get with Adepticon and things like this is that it's almost better just to kind of maybe go and see what's up. And if I get into one of the other events, I'll definitely do that. But this gives me some time just to kind of hang out and take it all in, look around, talk with people, buy some stuff without worrying about, my individual schedule too much. That might be okay for my first experience. Definitely want that limited edition model. So I'm a sucker for those. So that's it, a quick hobby update, and expect more things from this channel this week and the coming weeks. Bye.